Hello, in this video I am going to show you my improved Orbital Hydralander deck. I already made another video on this deck, but I changed quite a few cards, and so I thought I'm going to make a second video about the new version because I think it works significantly better now. So as before, the deck is built around the card Orbital Hydralander. Cannot be normal summon set, must be special summoned from your hand by having 5 or more monsters in your graveyard and no monsters in your graveyard with the same name. Once per turn, quick effect, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, destroy 1 card on the field. So this is a very powerful effect and the reason why this deck is viable. You must have at least 2 monsters in your graveyard and no monsters in your graveyard with the same name to activate and resolve this effect. So this card is the reason why, other than 2 copies of itself, every other monster you play should be 1 copy only, otherwise this card won't work. And this deck is basically focused on getting 5 monsters with different names in the grave as quickly as possible and to survive long enough until you draw the Hydralander. So let's go over all the cards. Of course, 2 copies of Hydralander. It won't work with 3 because if you play 3 you might end up with 2 in your grave, so 2 copies. Then the best way to get 5 monsters into your graveyard are the Zodiacs, because you can overlay a bunch of them on top of each other. 1 Zodiac Whiptail, 1 Zodiac Ramram and 1 Zodiac Cataroost. Another great way to get monsters into your grave are the Tri-Brigades. So 1 Fractal, 1 Kit, 1 Karas and 1 Nerval. Then some searches. Armored White Bear can search out a beast from your deck. Giant Red can search out an earth monster from your deck. Sangan. Cardi to draw 2 cards. Melfi Catty and Melfi Puppy let you search beasts from your deck, and also they are great for an exceed. I am going to show you later. And other than that, basically hand traps that help you survive and cards, monsters that bounce opponents' monsters back. 1 Penguin Soldier, you will see it in action in one of the replays. 1 Wind Up Kitten, also you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, return the target to the hand. Also it's a beast earth level 2 that fits the deck perfectly. Grand Mole is just a great card and it works with Giant Red. Construction Train to protect your life points. Speedroid Manko to protect your life points. Also Tragedia, another hand trap you can special summon to prevent more battle damage. Evil Swarm, I'm not going to pronounce this. Flip, target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, return the target to the hand. Evil Swarm Azathoth, target 1 special summoned monsters on the field, shuffle the target into the deck. And then I play this one in every deck. It's great staple in this format in my opinion. Iron Dragon Tiamatone. If 3 or more cards in the same column, quick effect, you can specially summon this card from your hand and destroy all cards in the column. And the spells, of course, 1 Lightning Vortex, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Book of Moon. I also like to play 1 Spell Shattering Arrow in every deck in this format, as well as 1 Gingerbread House. Then for this deck specifically 1 Tri-Brigade Standoff, 1 Different Dimension Capsule. This is used to pick a Orbital Hydralander so you can increase the chance of getting the Orbital Hydralander. Also some drawing power, 2 Shard of Greed, and 1 backup squad to help you draw the Hydralander more quickly. And as for the traps, 1 Solemn Scalding, 1 Tri-Brigade Revolt, 1 Dogmatica Punishment. Punishment can send another monster to your graveyard, and 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device. It's even better in this deck because you can also use it to protect your Hydralander. And as for the extra deck, 1 copy each of all the low rarity Zodiacs, and in combination with that you need 1 gravity controller. So how this works is you just need any of the Zodiacs, then you can overlay all of them on top of each other in the extra monster zone. That's important. And if they are in the extra monster zone, you can use it then as link material to some gravity controller, and you immediately have 5 Zodiacs in your grave this way. And with 5 in your grave you can then special summon Hydralander, so that's the quickest way to get 5 different monsters in your grave. Then 1 other generic rank 4 Exceed, number 70 is the best in my opinion. Also those 2 to overlay on top, Pain Gainer and 7 Sins. Then this is an important card in this deck, number 64, Ronin Raccoon Sandayu. 2 level 2 beast type monsters. So it works with the Melphis, some of the Tri-Brigades, and with Wind-Up Kitten. That is a very powerful Exceed, very powerful level 2 Exceed. Once per turn you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card, special summon 1 Kagemusha Raccoon token. When summoned, its attack becomes equal to the current attack of the monster on the field. It has the highest attack. So that's a great effect. And on top of that, while you control another beast type monster, and of course the token itself is beast, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So that's a great card. 1 Fossil Machine Skullwagon, that's just the target for Dogmatica Punishment. And as for the link monsters other than Gravity Controller, 1 Firefighting Daruma Doll, can pop a spell trap. 2 Tri-Brigade Rugal, the Silver Sheller for the Tri-Brigades, and 1 whatever, the Desperate Doom Eagle. And I didn't know this card worked because it says 2+ wind monsters, but you don't actually need to use wind monsters if you summon it with the effect of a Tri-Brigade monster. So if you use a Tri-Brigade's monster effect, you can summon this even if the monsters you banish are not wind. I didn't know this before, but it works. And this has also a great effect. Quick effect, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. And as long as your opponent has no monsters in their grave, this gains 2400 attack on top of its base 2400, so this has 4800 attack if your opponent has no monsters in their grave. And once per turn, quick effect, you can banish 1 monster from your opponent's grave. Not only is this a perfect first turn card, or general early game card as long as your opponent doesn't have many monsters in their grave, it also combos very well with the Raccoon Exceed, because the token gains the attack of the highest attack on the field. So that is the deck list. I hope I didn't forget anything. Let's go to the replays. I have quite a few replays of gameplay of this deck. I think this was the first one. In the earlier replays, there might be some cards I removed or changed. I removed this one. I kept drawing this card at the start of the game, so I removed the Psy-Reflector engine. Doesn't really work with only one copy of all the monsters, so I removed this. So I was lucky to draw the Hydralander at the start of the game, but sadly no other monsters. My opponent was playing around Mirror Force for some reason, even though Mirror Force is a higher rarity. I forgot to speed it up. As you can see, the Malphys are great to get monsters out from your deck and therefore to get more monsters into your grave. I was too low in life, so I had to set card KD instead of using its effect. Now I had 5 monsters in my grave to summon the Hydralander. Most games you are able to summon the Hydralander, you win. If your opponent doesn't have immediate removal, you usually win as soon as you manage to summon the Hydralander. That's how strong the card is. This is the perfect hand. Perfect starting hand. Any Zodiac and Hydralander. This is immediately 5 monsters in your grave. You can special summon Hydralander immediately. Summon them in the extra monster zone, that's important, so you can link it off for gravity controller. Spell Shattering Arrow is great in this format. Not only against field spells, also against pendulums. This would destroy Hydralander. When this gets destroyed, they can destroy my Hydralander. I had the capsule look at the second one though. That was a mistake. Always summon the token in attack position. I summoned it in defense by accident. That was a mistake. That was also a mistake. I should have summoned the token after I summoned Hydralander. Because of Ram's effect is if a trap targets the exceed was used as material, it can negate it. Basically I just... oh, I don't know why they surrendered. I didn't remember that. Probably because I had all the tri-brigades in my grave. I guess they surrendered. Oh no, what is happening? Did my game just crash? Oh, nice, it didn't. This time I have the Hydralander again. So many people playing the Machine Exceed deck. Sadly they stopped my Zodiac first turn. They made a mistake. They banished and attached my Tragodia. Now I don't want to special summon from the extra deck because they have 2 Lost Wind in their grave. That was lucky top deck. And summon the Hydralander. Vortex won me the game there. Now of course they don't have anything to get rid of my Hydralander. I think they made a mistake again. They should have probably crashed this into my Hydralander. Another Machine Exceed. First turn Hard Earth, as most of the time. Luckily I had the Lightning Vortex again. They are using the effect to attack me directly. Spell Shattering Arrow being very important again. And now comes the best part. That was my favorite moment yesterday, or when I recorded this. Penguin Soldier. They have 7 sins and this, which has an effect if it gets destroyed, but I have Penguin Soldier. Penguin Soldier for the win. That was awesome. And then I can summon the Hydralander and win the game. And the last one. That Penguin Soldier was the best moment, I think. That's the perfect hand again. Don't even need to use all of the Zodiacs this time, because I already had some Tri-Brigades. Sadly they tributed off my Hydralander. Tributed my Hydralander for a Kaiju. So now I am in a really bad situation. I top decked the second one. That was super lucky. Now this has 4800 because there are no monsters in my opponent's grave, and the token now has 482. And I think they just surrender at this point. I didn't even have to use the second one. I also had a pretty high win rate with this deck. Of course, winning against Megalith and Metal foes is pretty difficult. You can win if you get the perfect hand. If you summon Hydralander in the first turn and they don't have removal, you still win against Megalith and Metal foes. So overall I would say in this event, personally I had about a probably 75% or so win rate, so this deck is actually pretty strong. I think it is at least tier 2, close to tier 1. It's maybe not as strong as Metal Foes and Megalith, not as consistent, but it is at least tier 2. It really is strong, and as you can see, it also is a lot of fun to play. At least for me personally, I enjoyed playing this deck a lot. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope I see you in my next deck profile video. Bye.